The number of coronavirus cases is rising sharply all throughout the country, including in Michigan, where the governor, Gretchen Whitmer, has decided that she needs to implement some new proposals, new policies in order to slow the spread of coronavirus. So one of the things that she's doing is she's going to halt indoor dining, obviously temporarily until things get under control. She's also, shutting down public entertainment venues, anything that could increase the spread of coronavirus. Makes a lot of sense. Also, in-person teaching will be halted and students will unfortunately have to go back to virtual learning. Now, Scott Atlas, Donald Trump's coronavirus advisor, decided to attack her for this decision on Twitter, where he said, "The only way this stops is if people rise up. You get what you accept. Hashtag freedom matters, hashtag step up." Now remember, Gretchen Whitmer was targeted by right-wing gang members, right-wing extremists, and luckily the FBI foiled that plot before they could kidnap her and possibly murder her. But that hasn't stopped the Trump administration from inciting and encouraging violence against Gretchen Whitmer and other Democratic governors who have decided to lead and do what they can to slow the spread of a virus that is killing, on average, 1,000 Americans a day. Right now, we're up to 247,000 Americans who have died as a result of coronavirus, and the number of new confirmed coronavirus cases continues to increase. And unfortunately, we have this clown, Scott Atlas, discouraging people from wearing masks while simultaneously inciting violence against governors like Gretchen Whitmer. Now later, he tried to backpedal and deny that he was inciting violence. He said, "Hey, I was never talking at all about violence. People vote, people peacefully protest. Never would I endorse or incite violence, never." Yeah, people voted. They want people like you out of the White House.
Yeah, no, look, we always talk about context matters. So if you're using a trope used against a specific group, it's different context than if it's not a trope about a group, right? And I don't want to get into specific examples, but in this case, you have someone who was targeted by right-wing militia and they said they were gonna step up by murdering her. So when you ask people to step up and rise up as the militia rose up against Gretchen Whitmer, and not like 4 years ago or 100 years ago, but just a couple of months ago, you're at a bare minimum, you're being very uncareful with her life. And you're egging people on in a way that is very dangerous. If you're doing it by accident, you're a dummy. Come on, for God's sake. You don't, of course you know that, right? So what are you doing here? But nobody thinks it's an accident. He wanted plausible deniability by writing in. He later realized, oh my God, Trump's about to lose, and then I might not have a career if I'm going around trying to egg the militia on to do violent acts against elected officials. And so the backpedal is not remotely convincing. Now, on to the issue of coronavirus. And look, no wonder it's rising out of control. You know how bad it is in Michigan right now? So just 2 weeks ago, on November 1st, they had 178,000 cases. You know how many cases they had on November 16th? Over 275,000. It went up by nearly 100,000 in just 2 weeks. And deaths went from 7,340 to 8,378. So deaths went up just in the state of Michigan in just 2 weeks by 1,000 people. So there's a wonderful nurse in South Dakota who wrote this Twitter thread and quickly summarized it by basically saying, with their dying breath, Trump voters are saying like, I don't get it, this is fake. And why won't you give me the magic cure? No, there is no magic cure right now. And it's not fake, you're dying from it. Please, for God's sake, wake up. I can't believe that Michigan didn't already have that order that she ordered right now. In California, we haven't been able to go inside restaurants for a long time. You know why? Because cases were raging here. And then once we put in the thing that you can't eat inside, the cases went way down. And now because it's raging all across the country, cases are going back up. Because really, in the middle of record-breaking cases every single day, in the middle of the worst pandemic of our lives, you're gonna go eat indoors? Guys, the vaccine, it now finally, thank God, appears to be around the corner. Fauci's talking about some people, obviously not most of us, but like doctors, nurses, et cetera, might start being able to take it in late December. Holy cow, that's in 2020, right? That's great news. We just gotta hang in there. Nobody likes this. I wanna go to a movie, I wanna eat popcorn, I wanna go inside the restaurants too. We're all humans, we all wanna do that. And we wanna support those businesses. These small businesses are dying. But we gotta wait a couple more months here. Rushing in because you think freedom, well, you're gonna get freed from your life. It's a terrible idea. Don't do it to yourself and don't do it to others. And whatever you do not listen to quacks like Scott Atlas.
So I also wanted to show what Governor Whitmer's response was to what Scott Atlas had tweeted. Let's take a quick look at that video.
Wonder if you want to respond. There was a tweet that Dr. Scott Atlas, who is one of the top advisors to the president on coronavirus, even though he's not an epidemiologist.
Well, we know that the White House likes to single us out here in Michigan, me out in particular. I'm not going to be bullied into not following reputable scientists and medical professionals. I listen to people that actually have studied and are well respected worldwide on these issues, not the individual that is doing the president's bidding on this one.
And considering the threats to her life as a result of doing the right thing, I do have to give her credit for remaining strong and continuing to do what's necessary to slow the spread of the virus. And by the way, it's not just Democratic governors who are taking action here. Republican governors in Iowa, Ohio, West Virginia, Utah, and North Dakota have actually issued mask mandates. And those are masks that, of course, Scott Atlas has put out all sorts of disinformation about, claiming that they don't actually protect people from coronavirus, when studies do show that it does protect people, depending on what kind of mask you're using, of course. Ohio's governor also threatened to shut down bars and gyms if the outbreak worsens. In Minnesota, bars and restaurants must be shut by 11 o'clock at night local time. No, I apologize, 10 o'clock local time. And then in Wisconsin and Nevada, residents were asked to stay home for 2 weeks to avoid a return to full-blown restrictions, full-blown lockdowns. And just to your point, Cenk, I do want to give you guys some statistics. The United States has passed 11 million confirmed cases of the virus on Sunday, after officials recorded roughly 1 million new cases over the past 7 days, which shows how rapidly new coronavirus cases are spiking. On average, more than 1,000 people a day are dying with the virus, and the overall death toll is close to 250,000.
250,000 Americans died, and Atlas shrugged. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.